Mary Maytwayashing, strong-standing golden eagle, is from Lake Manitoba First Nations. She is fluent in her language of Anishinaabemowin, which is spiritual and sacred to her people.
Good afternoon. My English name is Mary Maytwayashing. I'm from Lake Manitoba First Nation, and I introduced myself in my names, strong standing golden eagle woman, and I'm a turtle spirit, and I'm from the Crane clan. And I want to give thanks for the gift of the tobacco for me to come and share of what I've learned over the years through my life experience, but as well from my own people, my grandmothers, my grandfathers, and from all the knowledge keepers that have shared stories with me. I'm going to be talking about water today and our connection as women to water and my understanding about the sacredness of water and the sacredness of life. Weganin kajikkendaman anina pichikchin and ago kwenebe water nebe dishnikata manuya Anishinaabemowin. Anin hepiche manach chagatek nebe kega wika nebe chip minister bapan the tamang when it chip mikino mongadonik the ni chansananik no sananik mi nebe kaishnikatek Anishinaabemowin ma dunda namen yenebe mi ma bematasin when chip bunche netaiging akwenigan nebe me nigane chun chabo awen bebians the taiget abenuchiastak sugamano got bebiastak kewi no ge nuyawen anen gap me nangatonik ne being me ayok and gek bebiastak me ma be mitashe umpigiot menek chip me gisha umpigiot where nigo me be mission the taigot yana be kinage gunta nabachutumen yanebe gasibiga shaman aige gisase koge men ge yanebe du samen maskekyon ge ma bemion samen chupmen nan ta wiska gwang en yan maskekyon ya maskeke wabu nebe wabu meno watisne kata no disne kata men ye ge di nenke kai kweyang ani na picha ochachakweyong ya yega nebe bematasin map mayamagak aige ketwak nebe bematasin geminigon nebe tashke bematasin utau tapenan kishpen wena kain gwe kashagan and among kashagan om the mangyan nebe kishpen anu choko tu the mangyan nebe kishpen Pichabu chagatek yandebe Kiko wabante guisamen aningagi tuta mang yandebe Miwen chikatuat kegi no kewi no ge Anishinaabemowin kukui nanik nukui nanik nemashumsa nanik when a narajatun ani neschagain ani nekatun Ema we and the bip mande be mea yain the bipe mea yamaguk Kinun dagun ani shiandebe Gibisandak kawenebe Nabia Shigman the woman Equioc, Kimina Guisioke, we know again the be Tabata chip metas in the mart, chip megan and the mart where when me yaunche, yebe matasin, gap me to art. Ke we know again. Gishpen gagai, equer kind be matasin tayamagas known. Me guisha beshagun, Gishpen gaganebe, kind gag be matasin tayamagas known. Yan the beb me pushke gap me gimme kyot. On gwek penestia kewi no ge upitu no ya. Nebe. Up me sigen no me ya nebe. Chip me bean at twat when a chip me beka bocha gyot kewi no ge when a chip me bean a bocha gyot. On gwek penestia ke a pin nebe me sigen a gatek. Me mishko sigen a gatek ya nebe. When a me Moshkonagot kego, when the so go me brokenagot, kakinagego, minataigan. A west yakama, Munchiminico kewi no on the bear. Ongweke so ge muskakyo na taigan non. Kena so ge go wisanin ge na taigan. Kamama nan o ya wing. Mi sha sigena ga tek yende pe. We nanish kamama nan ke ga nana me go nan ge ga nana me go nan wa na. Op me na taiga tonen ka kena ge go musko sinsan muskakyon. So go mi ma ge gi nait pe mun chap matas yang. Wa kamama nan ke. Ke sha wa na me go nan wa kamama nan ke. So go wa so ge ke sha ma de tu. Ke win ke kena ge go ma ga tu ta king. An Indonesian nop matas yang. Mi ya tabata tas mi wach mi ketong. Tap sku so ga wa sa ma ga gi mi na gwan nungum. Ke ni me go wach me gwan chip me ga gi ketwan. Mi wach de ket ke ni na wa ke sha ma na tu ge win. Ntana. Win an ish kena ge go ki gi mi na go nan. An Indonesian men nop matas yang. O kena ge go ma gi me atun. Mama nan o ya wing. Anin ge gi net wa na chumena bishop me on pe galswing. Anin wa na chishop me ken o monga donik. Gini Johnson anik. Manu ta shigo kenin wengap me shaga nashim. Eskitwan genin. Apache gotinge go sanagat chip me an kenut ta mang hon wen. We ga shigi getwan ga Anishinaabemowin. Bisha moon ya ogi getwan. Apachanish ya ye ga Anishinaabemowin na musi o meng chako nanan. Me ga tashin ta mang no ya when ke go met the bacham wang. Me atsu ket o ya sanagat chip me an kenuta manisha shagana shimon. Me tashkeni na skitwan ngap me the bacham ngap me shagana shim. Again, I will translate as best as I can into what I had shared from the knowledge that I have gained through my ancestors, through my grandmothers, and to my grandfathers, as well to all the elders that I have been involved with, that I have connected with, that have shared with me, through the teachings of our people. And the teachings that I share today and the information that I share today, the knowledge, has been there since the time the Creator put us here on earth. Our people have known these ways, have known and understood the teachings of our people, which is the reason why we are still here today as a people. What I had shared earlier in my language is that, one of the gifts that we carry as women is the gift of water, and that's what we share to our young ones, to our young girls, to our women, but as well to our men, to the young men as well. As women, we have the responsibility and the role of speaking for the water and looking after the water and taking care of the water. As women, we have the connection to water. Water has a spirit, water is alive. And when we sit by the water, by the lake, the water hears us, and we acknowledge the spirit of that water. And as women, we are life givers, and it is through the water that the birth happens. It is the water that breaks first, and then that life comes through those birth waters, through the birth canal of women. And during that time, for 9 months, we carry that life as women. And we carry our babies until they come to full term of 9 months. And when the baby is ready to be born into the physical world, they come through the birth waters. It is a very sacred time for women when we give birth to our babies. It is a time of ceremony. And long ago, it was our grandmothers who understood and knew how to be midwives and how to deliver babies. Today, our babies are delivered in the hospitals, but more of our people are going back to the understanding of midwifery and being that helper to help guide that birth through our understanding as women. And through those the waters that are everywhere, all over our world, all that water is interconnected. And all the waters are connected. We also have an understanding that we understand the thunderbirds. When those thunderbirds come and sound their voice, our people have always said that the thunderbirds are the voice of the Creator. And when you hear the sound of the thunderbirds coming, with the loud noise their voices come, they are telling us that some kind of weather is going to come, and that rain is going to come, and the winds are going to come as well. And it is through the thunderbirds and the winds and the rain, they work together to come and cleanse the earth and to bring the healing rains, because water is also very healing. Water is very powerful. So when women give that birth, when they give birth, it is a very, very powerful time where you can't not stop the power of that birth that's going to happen. When those waters are ready to come and to break, then the woman gives birth. With the rain and the water, that, as I mentioned earlier, it's all connected, but we are also related to the water. We are all related to everything that's been placed here on earth, which is the reason why we have to respect all life and all things. The animal life also survive from that water. They drink that water. Our plants and our medicines, when those waters come, our medicines and our plants grow. As well, the water life, they survive and they live in those waters. We have to respect all the waters and to make sure that the water is clean. Because when waters are poisoned, we become sick. Everything becomes sick. So when things become sick, then the human being can become sick as well. As well, that's why we are always told as well, when we have our babies inside our bodies, that we have to be careful of what we take into our bodies. That only medicines that are allowed to be taken at that time, that those are the medicines that you can take only and drink only when you carry that life within your body. As well, the liquids that we drink, we have to be very careful what we drink and what we take. And our knowledge keepers, our grandmothers always knew this. And these are the things that need to be shared by our women to our daughters, our young girls and young women. So I'm going to translate a little bit again in my language. Because hikweza sak chikana main talk anina picha chikenda mwat chimana chitas wat wewe na chinaga tenda mwat chikenda mwat uganan chimene kuyot etago so uganan so tapana mwat apiya pemata sin pemitwat uyang akena sagoge gu wewe na che kanentas wat kega chibesanta mwat anu chagoge gu api pemi notanyan pe biasan uyang Anishinaabemowin ki uganenego kenunta mwat aguche uyang bebi sant mi not bebi asawa onuntan uganen bemetashin chagatek menoge egu menokina moy kuisi nanet tago chenunta mwat shogo chemenoga nentas wat wena ongwe ke kweok ka takubenau swat ka wi takubenau swat chanaga chatwat ogunen michiot wena taguchun shinge gucha michiot chimenoshkagwat o yao yong Anishna unen gwa we kwe michet miya wen bebienske wina de michet Sugoche meno yata shawen bebiens penetaiget Sugameno apache nungum kaino nishis nun Ogunen be mute apen amat ongwek ube mate sik ube chibwe tu no uya uyon sugo kain kwek shanaga tenda siok anu chugo gegu ye kap me abatak kap me menuskak siot we kagi umina muskikyonet go chaba chitwat apache go sanagat chip me the bachaman we Anishinaabemowin kap me Anishinaabemowin we ge kap me sa sotam wat menikwewen kaina nishye manito gigishamina gois si go minagonan ugunan at manito ga minagwang we wena ge go chip me abachatwang muskikyan magap menatay geken aking chip me abachatwang chip me nukwe sa taswang kishpen ge go me kwek nana ga tenda siyang miya ga tabachattu mena niya muskikyan we wena chip me nukwe sa taswang chip me pagakyan tamang meno we wena sugo chip me menamusyo mang katay naneng minyan muskikyan wen chabachatwang sugo meno ye munya kagi minagwang ye minikwain ye kagi wena nasyo nachi gwang ye ga Anishinaabemowin yang bemata sik nasyo nachi gwat minyan mi utapen amwat enyan muskikyan enyan ay kap me sa kasot amwat sugo meno ye anu choge gu kap me nishkagwat uyaw yong sugo shtagon yong sugo yamin kwain mamu utapen agate again we na kain kwait kasha nagatenda sin kasha chakunanen kip me kain kwait tuta simen kip me nishu nach tumen me kasha chakunane shama chat kyawan naneng oncha man mi ma kain meno kip me kwait ke gu tuta simen minyan peko we nishin sotam wat ang gwek ko bemata sik kini chansananek usananek we know ani shoganap mi tu no bemata sin ke we know ga abenuchano ganyayon me wen che ka keno nan da shandamang on wen akena keno magoi sinan kenda mai sinanan on wen atsu kenan me wen che te bachamong on wen Anishnachan sotamat ke we know ga ni chansananek chike kenda mat we know chana we chi gwat umikanam yon sha yeah we when it's manach the swat manutas menoganin menongap me shaganashim what I had shared is in my language in Anishinaabemowin is that today you know, it is very important that we pass on these teachings to our young women and to our young girls, to our young men, because this knowledge has been transferred over to us and that this to be shared because that's part of their education. Everything that I had shared, you know, the teachings that we share are the natural ways of our people. And our ancestors and our knowledge keepers have known these for thousands of years. Today, what is happening is that our people have become really disconnected to our ways, and it's not their fault, but it's due and the result of colonization and the genocide and the residential schools, the 60 schools, and the 60 scoop and the day schools that have happened to our people. These teachings have been forgotten, but they have not been lost because we have managed to maintain and carry these teachings, it is because through our spirit and our strong connection to spirit is why we have maintained and remembered these teachings, because they're within our blood. They're within our memory. They are within our DNA, that we remember these teachings. And what I had shared is that when we carry that life as women, what is shared on the outside of the womb of that physical being of the woman, whatever is shared, the baby hears from the outside, which is the reason why we have always been taught and been told that we have to be careful of what we put into our body during the time of pregnancy. And that baby grows within the body inside the womb of the mother, which is a very sacred place of a woman. And that anything that is shared, that the baby hears. And we are told, be careful what you say and what the baby hears outside of the womb. If there's any type of violence that occurs outside of the womb, the baby feels that, the baby hears that. So we have to start teaching and not be afraid to share with our people about these ways, because one day it'll be the young ones, our people, that will carry, the young people that are there today, they will carry these teachings and they will share with their children as well. And it's important that they share. Everything that, all the water that's there, the rivers, the oceans, the fresh water, the rainwater, these are all waters that are connected, and they connect to each other. Somehow they come together. Those rivers, that is the lifeblood of Mother Earth. That is the blood of Mother Earth. And during the springtime, it is the waters that break, that come through. And during that springtime, when the waters start to break, things start to happen again, and new life starts to come again. Things will start to grow again as the season warms up. And the fish, they start to come through those creeks and those rivers. And even in the water, the oceans, the lakes, there's life there. And within that life, they also need clean water. So with all the water that's there, we have to always respect that water. And I remember as a little girl with my grandmother, we would haul water because there was no running water at that time. And that's how we hauled our water. We would bring that water. And I remember as a little girl, still today, I remember just how good that water tasted, because it came from underground. It was fresh. But many of our waters today, they are so polluted. And we have to really look at what we are doing to the water, that we can't continue polluting those waters, and we can't continue poisoning the water. There's been many oil spills in the oceans, and that has really affected and impacted the water life, but also the land. It gets affected because it becomes poisoned. And it is said that, what happens to Mother Earth, what she feels, as women we feel. And there's a time when a woman goes through a ceremony as well. And this is that time when she bleeds every month. Out of the 13 wounds every year, out of the year, every month she bleeds to cleanse her own body. And it's the time that she cleanses. So when we feel, we feel what's happening, because we are connected to Mother Earth and we feel what she feels. It might be like through an ache and a pain, you're going through a hard time with your menses, your moon cycle. As well, we are connected to the grandmother moon. It is the grandmother moon that controls those waters, and she's able to clean that water as she brings those tides and makes those waters move. So during that time, when we have our menstrual cycle, it is the grandmother moon that helps us to bleed. We are connected at that way. So I just wanted to share that much, when there's so much more that can be shared. But so that pretty much is all I can share today. And miigwech dikit nungum gani no keep me tashin taman kanin yen be ani na pichik chinan ta aguk peguchama nach tong yen be ke ga wika chun shabapana tamang ke ga hanu chugu chutu tamang ke ga hanu chugu ge gucha pagitong man be shago che me besin tamang ke tai shaman ge man being chip me Magagai Manani boyang man being Kitab Miayaman man the pe Kitab Miba Bisantaman Kidananta Wishkago Minashian the pe Ami Gretch me Dominic Kikaton Kidanakaman in them.